Well, good morning, for goodness sake. What time is it? It's time to get ill. Welcome to Adjust Your Shorts, that program where everybody gets a swift kick to the dick by the news, as delivered by me, as delivered by Google, as delivered by the internet. I'm pretty sure that it's just AI at this point, just telling us what to do, just controlling. It's kind of a light one today, so let's jump into it. Today is Thursday, June 26th. It is moderately cool in Arizona this week. I do think it's funny that the news only reports the hot stuff. They're not ever like, oh, by the way, it's nice in Arizona right now, which it is. I'm working outside. Last week, I was just wet all day. This week, it hasn't broken 100. Pretty good. Well, without further ado, BBC News, Diddy used violence and fear. Diddy's case is set to come to a head today, and they're going to vote on whether he is the president of the Freak Boy fan club. I just think this is wild. I was like, what evidence have they actually submitted in court? And here is the evidence. It says a significant amount of evidence, but here is what the evidence boils down to. Testimony from alleged victims and witnesses. You got Cassie, an ex-girlfriend, alleges physical abuse and freak-offs. So cool stuff. Jane, another ex-girlfriend, similar sexual encounters. Mia, a former assistant, claiming that Combs assaulted Ventura and that he sexually assaulted her multiple times. Now that you should definitely, that should be something that you found guilty. You found guilty it, and it make. Before I move on, I thought of a joke. If I was the ruler of Spain, I would make everyone call me the Spanking. Capricorn Clark, another former assistant who alleges clones kidnapped her. Puffy Combs kidnapped her, threatened her, describing an incident where she was held against her will and forced to take a lie detector test after jewelry went missing. That's fucked up, but that's not sex trafficking. And then other witnesses. Okay, on to physical evidence. 2016 hotel security video. We saw that. Items found during raids, including weapons, drugs, and baby oil. And then photos of injuries. So they're trying to send him to prison for life for sex trafficking and kidnapping. And this is a very meager amount of evidence, in my opinion, to get the guy convicted. It's like, do they actually want him in there? I don't know. All right, moving on. BBC. Pete Hegseth says U.S. strikes on Iran were historically successful after the Ayatollah downplays the impact. This is just a big boy game of nuh-uh, yes, huh. They're all just saying nuh-uh, yes, huh. Nuh-uh, yes, huh, nuh-uh, yes, huh. We say, yeah, we bombed them. And then the supreme leader of Iran comes out, throws 19 missiles at a U.S. airbase in Qatar, one of which gets through after warning the United States. And then he comes out and says, nuh-uh, you didn't. You barely did any damage. We win. Ha ha ha. A success for us against Israel. What? Nobody just can say, yeah, that's a bigger army and we can't fight them. We're not going to fight them. Everybody just has to say, yeah, we're winning. We're going to win this thing. It's so wild. But what I did want to bring this for is I just want everyone to look at Pete Hegseth's face. This is what I think actually. So I think that the actions in our life sort of form our faces, maybe. And I think that's what he is right there. I think, I'm gonna fight you. I think that's who we're dealing with. This is why I don't like old Pete Hegseth right here. He just looks pugnacious. Ooh, that's the word, pugnacious. Okay, watch Hegseth berates news media during briefing on U.S. strikes against Iran. So now this is us saying, yes, huh? Yes, huh? Moving on. Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei issues claims of victory over Israel. Big slap in the face to the U.S. Okay, let's move on because nuh-uh. Yes, huh? Mm-mm. No tag backs. Yes, huh? That's just... Meanwhile, the rest of us are working. You know what? Actually, like the government is supposed to be the parents, but it's the opposite. You know what we are? We are the children of abused parents, if that's the case. Because the government is a bunch of abusive fucks playing mind games and physical games with us while we just work to pay the bills. Nuh-uh, yes, huh? Nuh-uh, yes, huh? Meanwhile, we're just trudging off to work. We're like, yeah, kids, whatever. It's like, do we really even care? Until they come bombing us, do we really fucking care what they're doing over there? I mean, white women obviously do, but the rest of us don't. All right, moving on. MSNBC DOJ sues Washington State over law requiring clergy to report possible child abuse. This hit me funny today because it is the Trump administration is suing over a law meant to curb child abuse, but the law was to say that the clergy can be that confessions are no longer sanctimonious. So this is big government defending the use of God to keep secrets. Well, we can keep a secret if God told me that I get to hear the secret. But then this is a safe space. You can tell your truth here, and you won't get in any trouble. Go ahead, you can tell your truth here, and you won't get in any trouble, because God said. All right, moving on. NPR, Supreme Court holds up South Carolina's ban on Medicaid funds for Planned Parenthood. What they don't tell you in the headline that you, of course, are going to be thinking is this is about abortion. But the aid that is afforded to Medicaid is for non-abortion services. So they're actually fighting against the use of Medicaid for services for like cancer screenings and things like that. So move to The Guardian. Supreme Court paves way for South Carolina and other states to defund Planned Parenthood, which is actually true. So I'm just not, they're out against abortion. I mean, once again, I know this is controversial, but I'm a guy. And here's how I look at it, okay? Nobody but me is going to choose what I do with my body. Nobody but me. I reserve that right solely for myself. And so for me to then turn and say to anyone else, man or woman, that I'm going to tell you what to do with your body is insane. It's just insane. You don't get to do that. And you don't get to kill people. But obviously you do get to do both, so fuck me, am I right? Moving on. Oh yeah, ABC. This is fun. Liver King arrested in Austin after threatening Joe Rogan on Instagram. This fucking dude is out of his mind. Write that down. He is out of control. This is, you know what? This is a PSA going out to anyone who's listening, which is, so many people. Don't do steroids. Steroids is bad, MK. Okay? Steroids is bad, MK. If you don't want to end up like the Liver King and Queen and Princes, which is, I saw that documentary, Man, those people are messed up. And it just proves also that the millions won't make you happy. It will make you insane. Liver King picked a fight with Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan was outspoken about the fact that he clearly is on steroids. So was I, by the way, but I just don't have the platform. And then he says that Rogan is partially responsible for the impact that it's had on his supplement sales. And it's like, no. The fact that you were using steroids is what had the effect on your supplement sales, because everybody somehow believed that was your body on natural supplements and liver and hearts. Oh, and steroids. Speaking of Texas, Austin, Texas, that's where he was headed. It's a funny thing. The thing that did not appear in the news at all this week was Tesla's rollout of their robo-taxi service in Austin. So pretty cool. I just wanted to say, hey, we took a Waymo, the lovely girlfriend and I took a Waymo a couple months ago when we visited Austin, and it was fine. I mean, she was shitless, but I was like, I don't know, I trust that more than I trust the dude that took us from from the airport. No, that was a lady that picked us up from the airport. But anyway, moving on into the good news. Let's get some good news. Dozens of whales saved by locals after mass stranding on Icelandic beach. And if you go into the article, I guess 60 pilot whales potentially chased some mackerel into shallow waters, and people got into the water to try to help. But unless they got in there with fucking tractors, nothing was going to help except for the tide. And so I Google searched what happened, and this woman went, well, I thought it was unlikely we'd be able to do anything, but quickly people showed up and found a way to drag the whales back out. But then he said, probably the rising tide had a big effect on it. The rising tide was the only thing that helped those whales get out of there. You didn't do anything. These whales weigh tons. You didn't do fuck all. Why are we trying to play this off like it's some crazy story? The pilot whales got stranded. Luckily, the tide came in. Okay, only other thing in the good news that I liked was this. Sunlight-powered catalyst supercharges green hydrogen productivity by 800%. If your math is bad, that's 8 times the amount of solar for energy. Swedish engineers have improved the process through which hydrogen fuel is produced from solar electricity. Hydrogen fuel is considered one of the most renewable alternative fuels in machinery like planes and ships, which it is. Hydrogen is the most abundant substance molecule in the universe. As far as we know, it's what the sun lives on. So there's plenty of it, and when you burn it, it turns into water vapor. So we should be producing hydrogen. Although, I wonder what kind of effect that would have. Is it possible that if you put a bunch of extra water vapor in the sky that it cools the temperature and then we send ourselves into an ice age? What if the only reason we're not in an ice age right now is because of the carbon fuel burning process that we use? What if we're actually, all right, new theory. What if we're actually keeping ourselves from freezing to death by burning all of the oil that's in the ocean? I don't know. And last but not least, deep sea mining. Yep, 8 hours ago, 22 hours ago, 10 hours ago. Deep sea mining has Trump unleashed a scramble for the seabed. Trump initiates fast track for deep sea permits. U.S. eyes ocean floor for critical. So, yep, it's dangerous and we're doing it. So pull your shorts back to their normal levels, everybody, because this has been a quick one. Consider yourselves kicked in the dick. I hope you have a great weekend and it stays cool wherever you are. My name is Ray, and we will see you next week. Bye.